you're new to the government contracting or you're already established in government contracting, but you want to choose Nix codes, right? Wonderful. I'm going to show you exactly, how to choose your Nix codes and where to actually go to, find those particular Nix codes, right? There's different strategies and different ways you can really identify your particular Nix code. So first, what is a Nix code, right? Nix code is a 6-digit code that identifies a particular product or service that you're going to offer, okay? Nix codes are more specific, to the government, okay? They really help you identify, what product or services that you're going to provide to the government, because that particular Nix code is going to be attached to a size standard table, right? So where do you use your Nix code, right? You can use your Nix code for your SAM registration. You can also add it on your capability statement, right? On your website. That's really about it, to be honest, right? And when you're applying for your SAM registration, you're gonna have to pick one particular Nix code that's your primary Nix code, okay? So let me go ahead and jump in the screen share right now. Let's go to Google, my best friend. First, you can go to enter Nix code, right? Go to nix.com. Now, on Nix, this is the main website, right? You come in here and you simply just search your keyword, right, that you want to do. Let's say landscaping, right? You search that, and it will give you the Nix code for landscaping, right? Now, let's say it's something more like let's type in shirts. Type in shirts, it will give you different, different Nix codes like screen printing, like different things, right? So if you're trying to identify your Nix code, come to this database and essentially search what you want to provide. If you search it in there for the SIC search instead, SIC searches, it gives you a little bit more, right? Now this is more so for commercial, but you're more specific about government contracting, right? This is a government contracting channel, so I would just do the Nix instead, right? Nix codes, and it would then give you the actual different Nix codes that align with shirts. As you can see in the common keywords, it kind of gives you a brief description of this, right? Is this screen printing? Are you cutting apparel? Like, what are you doing, right? To really identify that particular Nix code, okay? Now, in government contracting, there's something called the size standard table, okay? Back to Google, my best friend. Size standard table, right? Go to size standard table, and it's right there, right? Better yet, type in SBA so it's more specific. SBA size standard table, right? You come here, it's going to be a PDF. You want to find the PDF version of it. Once you click this PDF, it's going to show you this table right here, right? Is essentially the list of Nix codes that the government identifies, right? Oh yeah, by the way, Nix code stands for North American Industrial Classification System Code, okay? You can read more about this. But overall, this codes, right, all these Nix codes essentially, see on the left-hand side says Nix code, the description, and the size standard in millions and in employees, right? There's two ways to classify Nix code in the government market. One is by millions of dollars, and two is by number of employees, right? So it says right here, $0.75 million. So if the company that's providing these particular services makes more than $0.75 million in a 3-year period, they're no longer considered a small business, okay? So this table essentially is for the U.S. Small Business Administration. This is what identifies you as a small business in government contracting, okay, guys? So if you start scrolling down, you see it says this one right here, logging, right? If you have more than 500 employees, you're no longer a small business. If you have 499, you are a small business. You get 500, 501, you're no longer a small business, right? So you want to make sure you stay beneath these thresholds, okay, to remain a small business. As you keep scrolling down, there's different, rankings, obviously, right? In construction, for instance, for residential remodelers, if you make more than $36 million in a 3-year average, you're no longer a small business, right? So if you made $15 million 1 year, $30 million another year, and then $70 million 1 year, the average of that is going to be more than $36 million, meaning that you are no longer a small business. But let's say you make $20 million 1 year, $10 million the other year, and another $15 million the next year, right? If you do the average, it's going to be less than $36 million, meaning that you are still a small business, right? So now, where does the primary Nix code come in, right? So your primary Nix code is what identifies how big or small you are. So let's say I do construction, right? I mean, I'm a residential remodeler, and I have this number right here as my my primary Nix code, right? Meaning that if I exceed $36 million in a 3-year average, I'm no longer a small business. But I actually, on my day-to-day job, I only do, roofing, right? I'm only a roofer. So as a roofer, if I exceed $15 million, I'm no longer a small business. However, if I'm a roofer, but I have, this Nix code in there, Now, if I go past $15 million, I'm still a small business because this is my primary Nix code, okay? So they're gonna judge you based on, the biggest Nix code that you choose as your primary, which is why it's very important that when you are choosing your Nix code, you have the one with the highest threshold, right? You want to find the one that has the highest limit, right? And say, hey, this is my primary Nix code, right? So if you're gonna do, if you're only, an electrical contractor, right, $15 million, well, you might as well just say, hey, I do residential. I do residential building. That way you don't, you can exceed the contract, which is $15 million, and be under $36 million, okay? Hope this made sense. And a rule of thumb, when picking your Nix codes, have at least just 5 Nix codes. I don't want you to have a million Nix codes on your capability statement on your website, right? Get 5 solid Nix codes and use those Nix codes now as your business starts to grow and grow and grow. Yes, add more Nix codes to it, okay? Because you don't want to have, your brand new company in the government space. You have 35 different Nix codes. Like, they're gonna look at you and say, hey, you're a jack of all trades, right? Because there's no possible you can do all these different things. And the beautiful thing about government contracting is you can always update your Nix code. So just put your top 5 for now. If you find a contract that's not in Nix code that you have right now, guess what? Log into SAM and update your Nix code. Okay, guys? So you definitely want to choose just 5 Nix codes that really identify what you're currently doing. If an opportunity presents itself and it's not one of your Nix codes, just come here, find a Nix code, and update your capability statement, okay, guys? So that's how you choose your Nix codes. So first, use the Nix.com to really identify, exactly, what the Nix code is for your particular product or service, okay? Now, when you find a Nix code, come in here and see what the threshold is. There's different categories, like every single Nix code that the government buys is going to be on this list. So if you need any ideas to what industry you should go into, just come on here and just start browsing around. Just start looking, like literally top to bottom. And oh my God, this is interesting. Let me do some mill machinery and equipment manufacturing. Okay, there you go. Use this Nix code, right? You now copy this Nix code and go do some market research, in like USA spending or something like that, to see how much money they're spending with this particular Nix code, right? Because now I'm just doing too much on this video right here, but let me just finish this train of thought and show you. So you come here, go to Nix code, put that in there, press enter, manufacturing, right? And then now you search it and you see, where the money is going, like where they're spending all this money at, right? They've had $13 million opportunities, contracts in here, right? If you go to, map and look at that, it's going to show you exactly where the money is going, right? So you definitely want to first, find what your Nix code is, and then the second step is to now do market research for that particular Nix code to see, where the money is going. And the reason it's taking a little long is because, a lot of different data. As you can see, Texas, they spent $349 billion, $870,244,842. Okay, I'm getting good at reading these numbers. Okay, that's crazy amount of money for this particular Nix code, right? And so on. So now, if you provide this particular service, guess what? You want to go to Texas or to California, right? Or some of these like little light, darker states, right? But definitely don't go to, like somewhere where it's only a little bit of money being spent, right? You want to go where the money is being spent, because that's how you really make money. You want to go to your target market. You want to go to your location, right? Overall, that's the video. So when choosing your Nix codes, just simply choose 5 simple Nix codes, okay? 5. As your company grows, you can add more. If you got some value from this video, subscribe to the channel. And yes, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.